The truth of the matter is that the pathological narcissist soul was captured, and it was captured at a very young age. So know that because their souls were captured, then that is why they try to capture your soul. You see, people, pathological narcissists are tricksters. And what they try to do is they try to rob Peter to pay Paul. They are offering your soul up to the highest bidders in the underworld because they lost their souls. You see, pathological narcissists, these people that are stuck at the bottom of the consciousness ladder, have allowed darkness to enter their abode. And they abandoned their inner light. They abandoned spirit. They abandoned source. And if light steps out, then darkness stepped in. Hence, what you're looking at is someone that is collapsing inwards. Hence, they abandon source, they abandon spirit, they abandon their higher self, and because of this, the soul collapsed. And it is this soul's collapse that clinicians are calling a personality disorder. And to truly understand these people, we have to talk about a Faustian bargain. A Faustian bargain essentially comes from the old German legend of Faust. And this refers to an agreement where someone trades something deeply valuable, oftentimes their soul, their integrity, or their higher self, for temporary power, pleasure, wealth, or success. And here is the essence of this. Note that when we are talking about a Faustian bargain, the person gets what they want in the short term, yes. For example, fame, money, power, influence, or even forbidden knowledge, but it comes at the cost of their long-term well-being or their eternal soul. A Faustian bargain, then, is any deal where you compromise your morals, values, or true self for immediate gratification or material gain. Hence, understand here when we are talking about this spiritually, in the metaphysical realm, understand that a Faustian bargain essentially means spiritual enslavement. And this is essentially handing over your higher self to lower forces, such as ego, lust, greed, or even control, in exchange for illusions of power. So know that in a nutshell, a Faustian bargain may seem tempting in the beginning, but it ends with bondage, regret, and a loss of self. It is a warning story about the dangers of trading eternal truth for temporary satisfaction. Now, let's dive deeper into the pathological narcissist and their Faustian bargain. You see, if you're dealing with a pathological narcissist, you're dealing with a personality type that is rooted in shame. And when we're talking about shame here, it is pathological, because on this channel we talk about pathological narcissism, personal development, spirituality, and raising your awareness so that you can identify and avoid toxic personality types like Ned the narcissist and Nancy the narcissist, or Sally sociopath, or Henry histrionic. And you want to avoid these personality types because in the spirit realm, they are stuck in hell. They are based in shame and unable to move past their pride. Hence, pride comes right before destruction. Pride comes right before the fall, and they'll fall right back down the consciousness ladder. And this is because they have pathologically low self-esteem. Hence, their self-esteem is little to non-existent. And you can think about this like your phone running on low power mode. They need to be plugged in. They need to get a charge. And this is why they oftentimes are always on the hunt for new sources of supply, because they cannot generate their own energy. And not only are they based in shame, this pathologically low self-esteem, this is wrapped up under dysfunctional pride. Hence, we are talking about grandiosity. They are trapped in their lower ego, their lower self. They are stuck at the bottom of the consciousness ladder. Keyword, stuck. Because in order to grow, in order for there to be change, we must let go of a lower level emotion to get to a higher level. But remember, people, Narcissus from Greek mythology, Narcissus was filled with pride. He was a prideful personality. And that is why they tell you that Narcissus was so obsessed with his reflection in the pool, in the pond, that he reached over to kiss himself, or he reached over to hug himself, and he fell into that pond and drowned. Pride comes right before destruction. Pride comes right before the fall. Because Narcissus is a personality. Narcissus is a prideful personality, and you need to let go of pride to get to courage, and courage marks the line for transformation. Courage marks the line for transformation, but pathological narcissism is a low vibration spirit. They don't have access to courage. Hence, pride comes right before the fall. They fall right back down to shame to go through another shame pride cycle. They are stuck in their lower ego development. They are ruled by lower forces. And what they get in exchange for this are illusions of power. That is the Faustian bargain. That is selling your soul to the highest bidder in the lower realms. That is selling your soul to the devil. What's the devil? The devil is a low vibrational being. The devil is a low vibrational being. Pathological narcissism is a low vibrational spirit. And people understand that the narcissists lost their souls a long time ago because they have arrested development. And what happened is that they allowed darkness to enter, and this darkness poisoned their soul. And this is why you'll see where they have a reprobate mind, a mind that doesn't work. You see that they go around in circles. Going around in circles is the hallmark sign of insanity. People, did you not have circular conversations with the pathological narcissist? Did you not have circular conversations where nothing got resolved, because nothing can get resolved with someone that is losing their minds? And not only are they losing their minds, they also do not have very good control of their emotions. Again, based in shame, can't move past their pride. Pride comes right before the fall. They fall right back down to shame. So they don't have access to courage. They don't have access to neutrality. They don't have access to love. Remember, pathological narcissists are rooted in shame. Shame is self-loathing. And someone that hates themselves cannot love others. Love is a high vibration, way up there in the 500s. Pathological narcissism as an energy spectrum exists below the line of courage. And additionally, what you will see is that you're dealing with someone that is impulsive and compulsive. So they have an underdeveloped will. That is an underdeveloped soul. That is an underdeveloped soul because we don't grow in darkness. In darkness, we atrophy. At the bottom of the consciousness ladder is where you find limiting beliefs and limiting energies. Hence, they are stuck in a low power state, just like your phone when it needs to be plugged in. And that is why they found you as their source of supply. And this is why you were so drained, because they were feeding on you, because you're dealing with an energetic parasite. Life is spiritual. And if they lost their souls, if they lost access to their mind power, their willpower, and their emotional faculties, then they will need yours as compensation. They will need yours as compensation because people, we have to be honest with ourselves. Because if pathological narcissists are low vibrational beings and we were communing with them, then that means that we were also lowering our vibration. Whether we were aware of it or not. And this is how we got caught up in a Faustian bargain. What is the Faustian bargain? It is selling your soul. People, did you not feel like you were losing your mind? Did you not have brain fog? Up was down, left was right. Nothing made sense. Were you not lethargic? Were you not tired? Were your emotions not all over the place? Did they not drain you emotionally? And for some people with the highly covert, malignant, psychopathic narcissists, did they not try to break your will? They were trying to capture your soul by severing your tie with the divine because their tie to the divine was severed. Life is spiritual. They try to capture your soul by severing your tie with the divine. Because if they can sever your tie with the divine, then they can capture your mind, your will, and your emotion. They were trying to capture your essence. Because people understand that your soul is the currency, your energy is the currency in the spiritual realm because life is spiritual. We operate a physical body, yes, but life is spiritual. In a nutshell, understand that abusers, users, or pathologically narcissistic personalities don't just want your time, your money, or your attention. Understand that they want your soul. They thrive on keeping you trapped in cycles of confusion, shame, and dependency, draining your life force like an energetic parasite. This is their version of a Faustian bargain. And what it is that you give them your light because they don't have light. They abandon their light. So you give them your light and in exchange, they give you their pain. But here's the truth. Know that you are never meant to be enslaved by their darkness. Hence, it is important that you get the courage to ascend because courage marks the line for transformation. You need to get to the 4th dimension or higher. You need to get into flow. The courage to walk away is the courage to reclaim your soul. It is the courage to reclaim your energy. So know that healing is not weakness. It is your power. And every step you take away from their manipulation is a step back into your authentic self, your peace, and your divine purpose. Remember, their chains are illusions, but your freedom is real, because your soul was never theirs to own in the first place. Hence, walk away, heal, and rise into the person you were always meant to be. Thanks for watching, kind people. Sheikah is the name. I'll see you in the next video.